Charles Sturgis.
And I'm Will Ploughs, and welcome to episode 9 of the Drive-By podcast, where Charles is actually dressed as a Greek waiter.
I am.
Going for a shift later on.
I put this on this morning, and I got halfway here, and I went, with my stupid hair that needs cutting, and my beard.
Yeah, and your moustache, and your smell.
I
can't smell the smell that's coming off him right now.
I smell like a proper
Greek waiter.
Proper Greek waiter. You can refer to me as Stavros. Charlie Stavros.
Whatever you're into, Charles. Anyway,
absolutely.
We've had an F1 race.
We've had it. We always do that. We always say we've had an F1 race as if it's a surprise. Amazing. And we didn't predict what was going to happen last week.
Yeah, very true.
What did we predict was going to happen last week?
I think we predicted. Well, I predicted Hamilton, Bottas, Stroll.
Mm.
And I couldn't have been any more wrong. Could I really? Because it was actually Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc.
Well done to Charles Leclerc for getting a podium.
How are Ferrari managing that?
I think it partly comes down to how good a driver he is.
Do you think?
I think he's a pretty good driver.
Because they're hanging on at the moment like a proper bare thread, aren't they?
It's not going particularly well for them. No, it was a dreary race though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. There was a bit at the end where it could have been interesting, and then it wasn't.
It wasn't because Lewis Hamilton had such a big lead where
it's incredible.
Nothing went wrong. Apart from his tyre went flat, but he still managed to win the race.
Well, he was still... You can do a whole lap, basically, with a dead tyre and still be 7 seconds, whatever it was, from the next car. It's just unbelievable. Mad. It really is.
That Mercedes is just so far ahead, isn't it?
It really is. It's
so
just
far ahead.
Ludicrous.
Yeah.
But Stroll was disappointing in the pink Mustang.
It looked like a beast to handle that thing.
He was properly unhappy with that car, wasn't he? He really was.
Well, Hulkenberg didn't even start.
No, it was a very disappointing race for him,
what happened
actually.
There?
I know.
I was really looking forward to the Hulkenberg returning, and nothing.
No, I know what you mean. It really didn't, which is a real shame, actually, because I was looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, Max Verstappen's currently being held in custody.
Oh, what, for killing his strategy?
For killing his strategy team.
Yeah. I tell you what.
Why did you bring me in?
Why did you? I think at the time it was probably the best call.
Because Bottas had gone out with a tyre and
Sainz had gone. Hamilton was looking ropey.
So nothing to lose.
No, I'd have.
But then had everything to lose by not coming first.
It would have been nice to see him just sail past Hamilton
on the finishing line.
Absolutely. What's his name in the AlphaTauri? He had a bad crash, didn't he? Danny Kvyat.
Kvyat. Don't get it wrong.
Because he's Russian.
The Russians will come and get you.
No, he apparently, when that happened, Martin Brundle was like, "Oh, I reckon that was a tyre blow. All right, let's go with a tyre." And then they were like, "Oh, is it suspension failure?"
To do some more analysis on it or something.
No, do you know what actually happened?
No.
He was fiddling with the switches on his steering wheel.
He wasn't.
And clipped the curb wrong and put it into the wall.
That's a sackable offence.
I think, he's not
on
doing
borrowed
well.
time, isn't
he? Really,
yeah.
I think. Have you ever been on AlphaTauri website and looked at their clothing?
Do I look like the sort of person that wears AlphaTauri?
No, it was.
I have no fashion confidence.
It's like proper streetwear type stuff. It's like.
Really?
Yeah, like
sort of thing you like to wear.
Really trendy sort of stuff. 400 quid for a little jacket is properly expensive.
That's how they afford to do all the racing.
I've never seen any.
No, but it's because if you buy it, then you are then affiliated with Formula 1, aren't you? Remember that guy we saw in that shop when we went last weekend? Big bloke in a in
a Mercedes, old Mercedes.
Yeah, Valtteri fat ass that we saw.
he was a big
Mercedes
chap.
Petronas AMG.
And you get
full kit.
100%. He works for Mercedes.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
he's a step-in driver.
Yeah. Well, he's the stand-in.
The stand-in driver.
Dear.
Yeah, Pirelli. They've gone into self-induced lockdown.
They're hiding.
They are hiding
properly.
That is poor form.
Last little while they've been.
Yeah, what's going on? It's been in every race. It's been a tyre problem.
There's been some sort of issue, which is interesting to see what happens.
Always the front left.
Well, it's basically at Silverstone. I think it's happened a few times at Silverstone. They always get quite bad wear on the front left.
Do they?
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see when the new regulations come out, because they've got to make thinner tyres, haven't they?
And they've got to make big 18-inch alloys, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And I like the fact that they're not covering. They're covering the spokes and stuff. So it's going to be it's going to be like one big disc.
Like the old Brawn in 2009.
Yeah, it was sort of like that.
That looked awesome, I thought.
Did look. So I think they will actually look quite good, the cars.
Yeah, they will.
I've seen some renderings of it.
Is this the 2022 season?
Yeah.
When everyone's going to be in their top form, everyone's going to be competitive.
Everyone's going, we'll be all right by 2022.
No, sort your stuff out now.
I don't know how much more Gene Haas can handle of this.
Well, he does very well in IndyCar, so he could probably fund.
Do they do well in IndyCar?
Yeah, really well.
Oh, really?
Really, really well.
So maybe that's the only thing. But to be
that bad.
backmarkers, they're proper. Yeah. They're up there with
Alex
Williams.
Albon. Definitely got his...
Williams.
Up there with Williams,
Down
yeah.
there with
Down
Williams.
there with Williams. Alex Albon got his own back, didn't he, for once?
Oh, he
taking at the back wheel of
Magnussen.
Magnussen. On the first lap.
Everyone
of the last
refers
corner.
to him as K-Mag, and I have an issue.
That sounds like
with
the sort of thing you put in a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
K-Mag.
K-Mag just seems like a...
I've never heard that, you know.
No, they refer to him as K-Mag, which I find a little bit weird.
Off-putting.
Mm.
Yeah,
so next week we've got 70th anniversary again
Emirates,
at Silverstone.
Emirates Grand Prix.
Emirates 70th anniversary.
Such a shame, isn't it? And it just is being dominated by Mercedes, isn't it, really?
It's going to be...
It's not as exciting as past seasons.
What do you think we're going to see?
Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen.
Maybe the Racing Points if they sort themselves out.
Do you reckon Checo will be back?
No, they've actually asked Hulkenberg to stay for next time as well, yeah.
God, I need to keep it more up to date, don't I?
Yeah, no, I think all I do is watch Formula One based stuff.
True. That's 'cause you don't think
it's surprising that my knowledge isn't better, but there you go.
No, actually, we're having a discussion last night or the night before where we've realised now doing this, only thing we ever talk about is cars
and Formula One.
Yeah, we've lost all our other chat.
No, we don't talk about anything else.
No, we're actually really boring.
We are incredibly boring.
Yeah, you probably agree with this as well.
Yeah, which is why we're going to move it on. Move it on
to the news.
To the news.
To the news. Well, this week has actually been a lot more interesting than last week.
Last week there was nothing going on.
It was all electric.
Yeah.
There was hardly anything out. And so this week now, we've actually got stuff to talk about.
But after we did the podcast last week, went online, what was the first thing I saw? Something actually quite interesting. New Lamborghini.
New Lamborghini, really?
New Lamborghini.
Is this, I'm guessing it's 1,000,000 horsepower, got machine guns coming out the side and...
Do you know what? You're not far off.
Really?
I don't know how much it's going to cost.
Probably a lot.
But they reckon it's going to cost somewhere in between the Centenario, or the Centenario? It's that thing. And like the SVJ
that went for about 2 million,
thingy.
2 million quid at
so
auction.
Yeah, it was like 1.8 and 2 million with the two cars. I forget what the other one was, but I reckon 1.9, 2 million quid, maybe more. I bet it's none of this electrical bollocks going on here.
Is it V12 aspirated?
V12, 6.5 litre, the most powerful V12 Lamborghini have ever made, 818 horsepower, rear wheel drive, no four-wheel drive system.
You're going to need balls of absolute granite for that thing.
Well, you're going to need runoff areas the size of your balls. You're going to need balls the size of runoff because it's only
rear wheel drive. There's no option to make it four-wheel drive.
Only track spec.
Oh, it's not road legal.
No road legal. No.
Really?
We'll see it next year.
So it's not like the Brabham where you can make it road legal, but it's not actually road legal.
Yeah.
It's actually just being fully track only. What a shame.
And I think you're going to be able to customise the logo that you have. You can have your own name on it.
Wow.
Well, because from the
cutting edge from Lamborghini
right some chap has bought it called Roger Dubry.
Pardon?
Roger Dubry.
Dubry.
Yeah.
Debris. So we're kicking off a lot of debris.
Or is that a brand?
I thought it was a watch brand.
Ah, so you can't have a personalised
Rogers
Rogers Doobie on there. Yeah. Why would you?
No.
Why would you have? Wouldn't you be able?
I'd make up a name.
Well, if you could choose what adverts you had on it, that would be quite cool.
That would be quite cool.
If you could choose what.
Probably having Gulf Oil.
Well, I think it's going to go. It's got the 63 on it, like the others.
63. So the year it was made. The Lamborghini
came out. Not the year it was made. But this is going to be a 2021 car, which I think is great news.
Yeah.
We're going to have a properly angry Lamborghini.
Back
well,
again.
As opposed to all the other
Lamborghinis.
All those
so boring,
all those mellow Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
No,
I think they lost it. They lost it with the Huracan, and then they made a Performante version, which was awesome. And then now that's going to look awesome. That's going to probably get me going.
I think what's the best looking one? Diablo is my favourite. No, Diablo. No, what's the other one?
Miura is my favourite.
Miura is a very good looking car.
You've got to have the tan interior in red, I think, with the Miura.
Red with a tan interior. What's the other one?
Countach?
The one with the vents that came up at the side.
The Countach.
No.
One that had a
modern one.
Oh, the old Murcielago.
I guess
the
that's
old
the
Murcielago.
one. Is it the Murcielago?
Yeah, the LP650 or 40.
I think it. I think it might have been
Super
something like that.
I always liked the Superleggera Gallardo. I always thought that was a great car. I wasn't a big fan of the Gallardo, but I liked the Performante, the Superleggera version. But yeah, that's going to look awesome.
Yes, well, I think the Murcielago is the one I'm thinking of, but that is going to be. Oh, it's called the Lamborghini. I've got to do it in the Italian accent. The 2021 Lamborghini Essenza SCV12.
Very good.
Mamma mia,
Very
pizzeria.
good.
That
was
gonna
minimal
be
input,
spicy.
maximal output.
Wait, is that the
That's the
Italian?
Italian way, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Is
All
that something
Italians.
you've christened them, or
Yes.
is that a
Yes.
common thing?
You heard it here. Probably not. It's probably been said
I
centuries
think
ago.
it probably has.
Yeah.
What else has been going on
We've got news from our favourite bus company, Torsus.
that we mentioned in episode 1?
Throwback.
Please don't do that.
You can cut that bit out. But yeah, Torsus. You know how they made the Praetorian? The massive
That was the name of it.
200
that was
grand
a big bus.
bus that went to Gif Nepal or Whistler or
Military
something.
off-road bus.
Yeah,
What's
you,
this?
you branded the Torsus naughty name.
Yes.
Well, this is
Oh, it's the offensive
the
one.
offensive one, wasn't it?
Torsus.
Yeah, exactly that. Anyway, this one they're making a minivan
Oh.
called the Terror Storm.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
That's a good name.
yeah. Imagine that as like your school minivan going to your opponents or something.
Kids,
That
the terror storms arrive for you. No, we're not going there, Mummy. It's terrifying.
Yeah, basically it's super
Terror
awesome.
storm.
Based off a Volkswagen Crafter van, which I don't actually think we know what it looks like anyway, do we? Because
It's a van.
we're not van,
Big van.
big van man. It's got a twin turbo diesel,
Okay.
but the inside of it is the best thing because Torsus have taken out the old seats and
Yeah.
made them with seats that you can either take in or take out, put tables in with 5-point harnesses on.
Ooh.
So imagine if you're in that and then
5-point
want to-
harness.
what's the driver going to do? Maybe they
Well, I
hire
imagine they'll
ex Formula 1 drivers, so then you just have to get strapped in.
Ex-SAS tank drivers.
Yeah,
Ex-tank
exactly.
drivers to do that sort
Exactly.
of thing.
It's
Oh,
got-
I'm very much looking forward
Going
to
to be
that.
towing up to 5.5 tons. So it's going to be very popular in America when Americans get stuck out in the wilderness and have to turn American out. It's going to cost for the basic model.
That looks good.
That's the Medivan.
Oh, that's
Medivac.
The
They call it the Medivac, which I think is a really cool name.
Yeah, no, I like this company.
Mm.
I kind of want one.
Torsus, Slovakians. The Slovakians have
want
got themselves into shape, haven't they?
Because you can get those Mercedes, are they Vito vans? So you have you see them in London and they're like blacked out.
But then inside,
Inside they've got like the TV screen and the hot,
it's a really
hot
big
and
thing.
cold running strippers.
not hot and cold running water.
No, that's the joke.
That's lost on me. Well, it's a really big thing at the moment, isn't it? I always see on my Instagram now, people who take vans and then turn them into something like a camper van, but
Yeah.
themselves, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it myself.
I like the idea. So
I'd
that's
be
not
rubbish
based
at
on a VW.
No, this is a VW.
Oh, that's a version
Yeah.
of it.
They all look like transit vans, let's be honest.
Yeah, they all look at that.
It's
looks
going to
like
cost for
transit
the
train.
basic model anyway, I was saying before, 52 grand, but then if you want the really cool model, it's upwards of 88 grand.
I spotted a problem with that.
What?
They've put ambulance on backwards.
That's so you can see your rearview
Rocky
mirror.
era. Anyway.
I'm not getting your humour today, Charles.
No, you're really not.
I'm really not. What else have you got?
I've got something. I need you to take a look at this.
Oh, God.
I'll pull this out.
This is Charles being nice and sociable on the camera. Apologies.
What's that?
That's a Jeep.
Oh, how wrong you are. You know how we were talking about the Chinese nicking
That's
stuff?
a Wrangler.
The Chinese have been nicking stuff.
I
No,
hope you put this up on the
that's...
YouTube
Yes,
so people
you,
can see.
you were seeing it just about that. Oh, no, you'll see the whole image, I imagine.
Oh.
That is a Mahindra Thar.
Pardon,
That's
say that
a-
again.
Mahindra Thar.
Really?
Or
Interesting
Thar.
name.
Thar. That's a Mahindra Thar. Which I had no idea. I just went, no, that's just a Jeep.
Why have they camoed out the wheels?
That's a good point. Why would you bother camoing out the wheels?
I don't know, it's just going to be some moving
It just
tyres.
looks like a Jeep.
It
Why
is
not
just a
just
Jeep.
put a Jeep badge on it and no one would have noticed?
No one would have cared either.
But it's
I bet
this
it
company.
breaks. I bet
It's
it breaks so easily.
It's an Indian company that got the license many years ago for Willys Jeeps, and it's it's sort of evolved into that hateful monstrosity-looking thing. We've got some really difficult 4x4 choices now. Why would you have a Defender when you can have that? Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it's going to cost, but
Or
it comes
the Waypan van thing you mentioned last week as well, that 4x4 that they brought
the
out.
Way PO1.
Way
yeah.
PO1.
But you see, this is some properly interesting tech here.
Really?
It's got what they call, you can have the options. You can have an M Stallion engine.
Oh, what?
M Stallion.
Really?
Little M Stallion engine, which is
Wow.
a 2 litre. Or you can have 2 litre. Or you can have the M Hawk.
M Hawk?
M Hawk engine.
That's going to be flying above the rest, that is.
Please, can you stop with these puns, honestly? Well, it's going to have a 2-litre engine.
No.
I know.
The Indians, they
0.2.
don't mess around, do they?
140 bhp. We're pushing out some
That's some
serious
pulling
power.
power, that is.
Absolutely. With, I don't want you to get too excited, dual airbags as standard.
Not optional extras.
Not optional extras. No, dual airbags.
The Indians are treating us, aren't they?
Standards. Look at that.
Does it come with hot towels after you finish driving as well?
What an after eight.
An after eight.
An after eight. You go, oh, I'll tell you something.
I'm full after that.
You drive that and then you want a couple of pints of lager. That's really racist. You can't say that. Right, we'll get that load of cack away from them. What a load of absolute rubbish.
Rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah. So
What else
there's
have we got?
There's a new Hummer.
Is there?
There's a
I
new
bet it's
Hummer.
electric, isn't it?
It's the new electric Hummer.
God.
So we've now got in the electric truck market. So we came out with the Cybertruck, that hateful looking thing. So we've now got a
the
thing
Cybertruck
called
Tesla thing that we
we've got
mentioned last week.
Tesla Cybertruck,
Electric trucks are just now the big thing, aren't
and
they?
then you've got something called the Bollinger B2.
I'm
yes.
sorry, the what?
Bollinger, as in champagne.
That must be an absolute corker.
Oh, God, please.
You said I need to be more ad-libbed. I'm being more ad-libbed.
Oh, right,
There you
okay,
go.
fair enough. The Bollinger B2, which
Yeah.
looks like it's very square. It looks like a
it for
squared
one or
off.
for
There's
two?
no Cybertruck angles here. It's just absolutely dead flat whole thing.
Looks like a Series 1 Defender then.
Yeah.
Basically.
So you've got the Bollinger B2, and then you've got a thing called the Rivian, which
How have they not got a lawsuit from Ep.9, these guys?
Bollinger, what, from
Bon-
Champagne region of
Champagne.
France? No idea. But I tell you who has got a lawsuit, Rivian. Because that was, I think they took a lot of people from Tesla, defected and gone to this thing called Rivian.
Do you know what I was reading? I didn't print it off or write it down, but I was reading that Land Rover have been for the last 4 years have been in a lawsuit, haven't they? Trying to claim their design because Ineos was too similar or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, they've just lost that.
Yeah,
They've
have.
just lost. So Jim can now go and
Carry on.
Carry
But
on.
the interesting thing with that is they basically took the Defender silhouette, just like a black print of the silhouette.
yeah.
And then they just showed that to people and they say, what's that? And the answers were so varied. They were like,
Really?
no one really knows it's a Defender
How
unless
would
you
not
know.
that's a Defender?
Well, I know,
I'm
but
sorry.
many car people don't know. So you
Yeah,
claim to the style of it and the silhouette of it is rubbish. But this Rivian thing, it looks a lot more perfect.
Sounds
Ford have got
riveting.
something. I'm just going to start ignoring you at this point. Ford have got something interesting coming. They're going to have
Yeah.
some sort of electric truck. But this Rivian thing had an Amazon investment of $700 million.
That's just pocket change then. isn't
Ford
it?
invested $500 million. It's going to
Really?
start at about 74 grand, so it's going to be cheaper than the Tesla Cybertruck. Plus, it looks so much better. It looks infinitely better. It looks really quite good, actually. And this Hummer EV
Yeah.
doesn't look too bad either. They're saying
Doesn't
it'll
it?
do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, but that's not been tested. They're just,
Well,
they're just
it'll
pulling
get,
that out
it'll
of thin
get
air.
to 60 in 3 seconds, and after that it'll stop.
Yeah,
It'll
it's,
break
yeah, it's,
down.
it's going to be too heavy. It's going to be really.
Exactly.
But the thing was, when I saw the image, like
Yeah.
the press release type thing, it said 0 emissions, 0 limits. Well, what about when it runs out?
Yeah.
What about when it runs out
Yeah.
of fuel? They reckon it's going to do 400 miles, but if you've got 0 limits, what you're going to have to do is stick a diesel generator in the back.
It's got
and have
zero
a-
limits to 400 miles. Is what it
Well, exactly,
actually
yes,
got.
it has a limit of 400 miles, so you're going to have to put a diesel generator in the back of it to power it, which will have a trail of black smoke, much like the original Hummer. So you have a trail of black smoke. I
Yeah.
think that's, and you know what? Fair play to them. It
Amazing.
actually looks quite good.
Does it?
I think it
You
looks
say
all
an
right.
American truck looks all right.
Oh, I think this Rivian thing looks actually quite good too.
Hmm.
Would I have one? No,
Probably not.
no, I wouldn't have that. But
No.
that's that's the news from America. What else we got? Oh, I've got a bit of a question for you.
Here we go.
Because I came across, this isn't really news, it's not a new car or anything like that, but I was
Right.
just looking at resto mod cars, so like
Ooh, yes.
modern underpinnings
A
with
topic-
classic styling.
Topic I enjoy.
I came across this New Zealand company called Beecham that
Okay.
I've never heard of.
Yeah, yeah. I never heard of them either, actually.
No, and they make a Mark II Jaguar.
Oh,
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
proper villain's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bank robber's car. One of the most beautiful cars that Jaguar ever made.
Mhm.
A
A proper Jag.
a lot of cars are just like the F-Pace is a Jaguar,
That's a Jaguar.
but
That
cars
thing
like
you've been
that,
driving around recently.
the old XJ,
Jag.
yeah,
That's a Jag.
that is referred to as a Jag. But the Mark II thing looks really good because it's an XJR underneath.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with a 4-litre V8 supercharged engine, ABS traction control.
He's going to be leaving the restaurants properly quickly.
Oh, he's going to. Yeah, there's going to be not.
They'll be flying everywhere when he leaves.
100%. ABS traction control. 200 have been made and delivered so far. So it's not
Really?
not
It's
a
not
pipe
unpopular.
dream. It's not a pipe dream.
How much is it?
You can have a 291 90 bhp car or a 370 bhp car, which is a bit weird because I'm not sure which V8 they're using because, well, the modern XJ was a 5-litre.
Yeah.
So it must be the previous
This one.
XJ, the old X350
Getting
engine.
very technical on me now.
Or it could be slightly older than that, but I think it would probably be the last shape XJ.
Have you got a price for it?
I couldn't find a price on the website. They're not telling it. I think
Is it POA?
it's POA. I reckon.
Bloody hate
because
POA.
you could probably spec it, but like inside, so it's got like looks fantastic on the inside. On the inside, you've got DAB, satellite navigation, basically the
You mean it's just a
interior
car?
of an XJ.
Yeah.
It's got the centre console of an XJ, and it looks awesome. So
Does it smell like
the question.
Does it smell like your granddad's drinking cabinet whenever you open the door?
100%. But what if you were going to have a resto mod car? What would you have?
I bet you can guess the car I'd have.
Is it?
It's an Eagle.
It's an Eagle
Eagle
now. I
Speedster,
thought
yeah.
it would be. Would it be the
I just-
Speedster or would it be one of the more traditional looking
What, the
ones?
drag? The old drag GT. Have a car in drag.
An Eagle in drag.
Eagle in drag. I'd have the Eagle Speedster. I just think that thing is just... Oh.
It's very good looking, but I
Stunning
like
car.
the new one. I'm not sure what they're calling it, but it's and you have the steely wheel version one.
Yeah, it's a drag GT.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
that is?
yeah. The
That
low drag
looks
car.
good. I think
Looks
that looks
awesome.
good.
With the purple perspex, it's in the cockpit for everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and also, talking about resto mods,
What's that?
I was looking at the one that Ian Callum made.
The Vanquish
That looks
25th.
awesome.
That's up there, but I think for a resto mod, you've got to go older.
Yeah, maybe.
You've got to go older.
Maybe.
I'd
So in
have to
20
have
years' time, Ian should start then selling his cars.
that. No, I think. Well, hang on. What is it? 20? Oh no, it's not 25, is it? It's what year was that? 2000.
The Vanquish.
So it's 20
Yeah,
sort of
2000,
kind of
wasn't
a
it?
20th anniversary car, sort of thing. But they look properly good, and he's
Yeah, they
basically Ian Callum went, oh, I'm going to do everything to that car that I wanted to do that Ford
wouldn't let
wouldn't
me.
let you do, which I think is just brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that's just such a good business model for that. I know I don't know how many they'll make, but every one of them is going to be perfect.
Perfect. It'll be lovely. Really,
And I think
really
it will actually be more reliable than the original
lovely. I'll
car.
probably have a better gearbox.
But if
as well.
I'm going to have a resto mod, I've got to have this Mark II. It just looks
Really?
properly.
Not the Eagle
Oh.
drag.
No, I wouldn't.
You don't want a car in
I
drag,
don't
do you?
like. I think it's too rounded. It's lost that sharp edge, sort of the very
Oh,
sharp
I see
edges
what
on
you
the
mean.
end that the E-Type
Yeah, yeah.
had. It's all just a bit blobby.
Yeah.
Um,
I still stand by my argument of the Eagle Speedster though. Stunning car.
It is. Oh no, absolutely beautiful car. But
Stunning car.
I'd have like there's people that do. You can have a MGB, but
Really?
that's an MX-5 underneath. But they put a saucier
fair
engine,
enough.
so it's an MX-5.
So it actually works.
Well, yeah,
So
absolutely.
you can actually go to the pub and back.
and back. You'll make it back. But I think,
Wow.
that's a good pub car actually. That Jag Mark II.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm very keen on that, and they do E-types
And they
and
wouldn't
they do
mind
all
if you didn't
sorts
pay.
too. Yeah, no, exactly. You just go, yeah, no, this one is on us because that is too beautiful.
Yeah.
Right there. I think that's about it. What have you? That's my news. I've
Really?
gone out. Have you
Oh, I've got some
anything?
good news. Anyone
that?
in New Hampshire who has a flying car, good news for you.
Where's New Hampshire again? Is that East Coast?
America, isn't it? East Coast.
Well, it is America. Is that East Coast? Yeah, it is. It's like northeast, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they've just
Or am I
said
thinking
now.
of New Jersey?
I think in New Jersey. New Hampshire's a bit further out. Anyway,
Okay.
don't want to get too stuck with that because they've just now made a law that you can now drive flying cars on the road.
Oh right.
This is
okay.
also the state, which I've got it here, which has a law, 85-year-old law, declaring no person while hunting or obviously on his way to or from hunting shall have a ferret in his possession, custody or control.
That's very sensible.
Very, very sensible.
I
But this is
can see
also
that. What
this-
are they on about? What's
no
that?
idea because what they've done is they've legalised flying cars.
Yeah.
But what they haven't thought about is one thing that's kind of getting in their way.
What?
The FAA haven't approved flying cars to be actually able to fly.
What? So they're not allowed in their airspace?
No, so you can only drive it to fly. You can only take off or land from an airport, so you can't beat the traffic,
Yeah.
which everyone thinks that's what a flying car is
Well,
for.
that you just be sitting on the M1 and then
and
just
the
go,
FAA
go,
hasn't actually approved of any flying cars yet. I'm guessing the FAA is the aviation body that looks over.
Federal Aviation Authority, I think.
Gosh, you are big, aren't you?
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. That's basically it from news. I really don't think flying cars are going to take off, are they?
Oh.
I think they're going to.
Yeah. Were you that proud of your pun?
I was.
Just have a little chuckle to yourself.
Yeah. Basically,
Excellent.
that's that news from me.
Why would you have a flying car? Because if you can afford a flying car, why would you not just have a Cessna light aeroplane? Because if you've got to take off from an airport and put it down in an
We'll put it up
airport,
on the screen.
that's just a helicopter.
That is just a James Bond microlight. Is
That's
it not?
That's little Nelly with an engine.
Isn't
in
it?
Yeah.
And so that thing there is only for the motorway. You can just beat the traffic, but you actually wouldn't
Oh,
get
so then
down
you
to.
fold it down and it becomes sort of
Yeah,
that
but then what
sort of
happens if someone crashes into you?
Thunderbird 4? Which was the submarine? Which was the Thunderbird submarine? Was it Thunderbird 4?
I think was
It looks like
Yeah.
a road-going version of
But
that.
you look at that and just think, if someone dings you, then you're going to be completely. You can't fly it, can you?
No,
and I
that's
bet
true.
it's not cheap.
No.
I bet it's more expensive
Flying
than a plane.
cars are just ridiculous.
Utterly
I just think that's brilliant.
useless.
So you can drive it on the road, but you're not actually allowed to fly it.
No,
So what you're just flying around in a collapsed helicopter.
which can't work.
Sorry, driving around in a collapsed helicopter, which you're not allowed to fly.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
basically.
Anyway.
Good news from New Hampshire.
Excellent. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Anything else, or is that
no, I've got an issue. Sorry.
just,
You
just
know, we
one?
mentioned-
Just one issue. Have you?
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, we mentioned a while ago that a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about auto cars, game-changing vehicles.
Oh, the Taken, the DBX, the Puma, and that sort of thing.
The Puma. I've seen a few Pumas. I've seen a few Pumas on the road, and
Have you said every single time you've seen it, thinking, "Is that a DBX?"
no.
Oh, I have.
Oh, well, you've looked at it and gone, is that a DBX? No, I was looking at these things, and saw the ad for it.
Right.
And this just brought up my issue with car advertisements at the
At
moment.
the moment, yeah. This is something that's very dear to Charles's heart, for those that don't know.
Why are car advertising so boring? It's so dull.
They are,
So
actually.
let me explain to you the Ford
Yeah.
Puma.
Oh,
You
God.
saw 10 seconds of the car throughout the whole ad.
How long was the ad?
Oh, it was, I don't know, maybe sort of 25 seconds. So you saw a bit of the car, then you saw the boot storage at the boot.
Really?
Yeah, they've got some sort of cubbyhole thing that drops really far down in the boot.
Interesting.
And the rest of it was snowboarders. Every
Hey.
single ad at the moment is not showing the car, it shows the lifestyle that goes with the car. There was a Volvo.
No, it doesn't though. Okay, do you know who drives snowboarders? Do you know what car snowboarders drive?
What?
Clamped out Jeeps. That's what they drive.
They don't drive
New
Pumas.
Pumas. Do you know why? Because they're cool.
Well, a snowboarder's that cool?
They're cooler than Puma drivers.
Well, that's true. So you showed most of it was snowboarding, and then there was a Volvo XC40 advert which showed zero of the car,
Really?
and just people putting bags and shopping and kids running around and all this sort of stuff. And it just drives me insane.
It's like that Audi Q3 advert where they're going through all the woods and the
Do you know,
river.
I don't think that's too bad in comparison.
But no Audi driver does that.
No, that's true. What, are you saying that it should just show them up the arse of someone else
Yes.
on the M1?
Yes.
But the trouble with advertising nowadays is it's people with ponytails,
Man buns.
who have never sold a car in their life,
Vape every half an hour.
vape every half an hour in the plaid shirt, and they're demonstrating their advert to people who don't know about marketing. So they go, "Oh, that sounds right." They just want
Yeah.
awards at the moment. There was another one,
Oh,
the Skoda Paloma Faith one. Did you see that one? You saw a bit of the car drifting around, and Paloma Faith was in a big dress. There was some paint on the floor, something like this, and it was all. I don't know what the point of it was. The whole advert was something about her not being accepted and her being different, and
So not about the car.
no, it was something. It was like, oh, Paloma Faith. There was some commentary about Paloma Faith sounding like a child or something like that. But when they cut the advert down to see the
Right.
one that you actually see in between Top Gear reruns on Dave,
Yeah.
it cuts all of that out. So it just makes absolutely no sense at all. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really, really is mad. And the funny thing actually is the Skoda advert at the end says, driven by something different. No, they're not. They're all
not.
driven
They're
by the same
exactly the
2-litre
same-
4-cylinder engine that drives every other
And the
bloody
same
car
person
like that.
drives
And
it.
and
Cycling
the
teams.
same person. But this is quite funny.
Oh,
Let me pull
God.
this up. I'm bringing my laptop out again. Now
You're a big
this
fan
was.
of your new laptop, aren't you?
I know.
He's got a new toy.
Check
and how it
check
works.
this out. Look, there you go. That's an advert for the Audi
No, you are.
RS6.
No, you are taking
demonstrating it as a family car. Okay, so that's that. This is the news article that went along. German car maker Audi has apologised for an advert showing a little girl leaning on the front of a high-performance car while she eats a banana. Okay, they've apologised for this. The advert promoting the RS4 event, yada yada yada. They've described it as sexually suggestive, strange, and creepy. What is?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, she's dressed up quite nicely.
We're not nonces.
The mum's obviously dressed her up, and she's got a nice
Sexually
little pair of
suggestive.
sunglasses on, bless her heart, demonstrating this as a family car, holding a banana for some reason, because she's healthy, I imagine. And they've gone and said that this is
we are
sexually
living in such
suggestive.
a snowflake era, aren't we?
One thing I will admit is it does say, some critics pointed to the ad's slogan, which says, "Let's your heart beat faster in every aspect." But that comes back again to the fact that the people who obviously did that Audi advert not
because
thinking about showing the car.
That's because the people who drive Audis have a heart rate of 200 beats a minute because they're so scared about hitting the car in front.
Yeah, well, exactly. You're always
The
concentrating. They said the advert was a mistake, tweeting, "We hear you and let's get this straight. We care for children." I'm sorry, it does look kind of like it's running her over.
It does, doesn't it?
Slightly. But what is the problem? And I think we're partly to blame for the amount of...
millennials?
The people... No, just the people are to blame for this. Because you can jump on Twitter and people were calling it strange and creepy. There's nothing strange and creepy about that. Granted, it's a crap ad. That should just show... It's an Avant. It's supposed to be in a mountainous environment.
That's what it should be. It should be
floating
a
on
mountain
some.
pass.
Yes, I know, but that comes back
to a skiing village.
You're not allowed to show speed in adverts. So the same thing with the Puma ad and the same thing with the XC40s is all you see is doing them 30 miles an hour. You can't glorify speed in these adverts. So all they do, it's just unbelievable. They pulled that advertisement for that, but then they can't do another thing. They can't show it for speed. So hang on a minute, how are they allowed to put Fast and Furious on the television?
Right.
And that's fine. You can see cars exploding and Vin Diesel driving very quickly and all this sort of stuff with the 16 gear changes that you see in Fast and Furious movies. And then when it comes to the advert, you've got to see a car that you might actually buy doing 30 miles an hour in a built-up area. It's unbelievable. Do you know who doesn't have this problem? Ford in America. Now, a few years ago...
Well, they're firing guns out the back of their car.
No, but you see, we don't have in the UK what America has with the Super Bowl.
You're really into this, aren't you?
I'm properly cross. In the Super Bowl ads, you have... Most of the ads are like 2 minutes long, and it's a big spectacle. People watch the ads, and people put a lot of effort into the ads in the Super Bowl. So there were some brilliant ones, and I'll put some still images on there, as you can see. Of the best one ever was... Have you ever seen the film Field of Dreams? Where the guy has that, if you build it, they will come. That's the thing. And the baseball team, and he carves a baseball team in his field, and then all these sort of old ghosts come back to play baseball. And so they did one, which was a Ford Mustang advert, and it was, "If you build it, he will come." So this guy gets in his tractor, and starts carving out a track in his field, and then he puts tarmac down, and then he paints a start-finish straight on one of it. And then he stands there with this, he puts the keys down of this brand new Mustang, which looks amazing. And he goes, looks around like this. And then out of the blue, Steve McQueen walks. Granted, it's the footage that they used, it was a rendering of Steve, but they'd adapted it from Bullet, which is they did it a lot better back in 2006 than the Fiat Strada ad did with that awful
Elvis
Presley one. And he comes out of there, gets in the car, and he goes, wham! Straight off, doing the full speedy thing, the whole thing.
That's why we want Mustangs.
That's why we want good adverts. I can't believe that you can't show. We have speed limits. You've got speed cameras every 100 yards. You can show an advert with a car leaning into a corner a little bit. It just drives me insane. Only good advert that's come out recently was the Jaguar Good to Be Bad advert.
Really?
But even then...
That was ages ago.
It was ages. It was about 2014. But that's the only one that I can think of. No, they're not going particularly quickly, but it's the whole ambience of it. You can do an advert that shows the car going quickly and shows the style of the car without it being too angry, like that advert did. But they just don't. They just put some shopping bags in the back. It all feels so half-baked.
It does. Have a swig.
Rant over.
Have a swig. That was quite good for you.
Allow me to mop my brow.
The whole thing.
Sorry about that.
I do kind of agree with you though.
They're so boring.
They are very boring.
So boring.
It just makes you think, I don't want that car.
No.
because they're just not showing.
It's all rubbish.
Yeah.
It's all absolute rubbish. Anyway,
If
shall we
they'd
move
turn
on to
around
something else?
Shall we?
Shall we do
Shall
a
we do
drive-by destroy?
We have, and I'm doing it this week as well.
You've done it for us. So, drive-by destroy.
Nice one. I've been doing it this week actually.
You have.
So this week the theme
Lay
has
it on
been.
me.
Never say that to me ever again. This week the theme for Drive-By Destroy, before Charles came in with that disgusting comment, is movie cars. Movie cars. I know you're a big fan of
Nice.
movies.
Nice.
So-
Good plan. I like that.
What we've got here is a 1968 Mustang GT390 from Bullitt.
GT390. Is that what it was called?
Yeah. Good knowledge.
I thought it was just the fastback.
No,
Oh, yeah.
GT390.
Right. Okay.
It's a fastback as well.
Yeah.
1969 Mini Cooper from the Italian Job.
Oh.
And the 1963 VW Beetle from Herbie.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Yes, I've made it ultra difficult for you this week because you'll feel bad if you do anything but destroy the Beetle.
What?
Wouldn't
You can't destroy.
That's why I just said if you'd feel bad if you did anything but.
Oh.
No.
What? No. Yeah,
No.
you got that the wrong way around.
You'd feel bad if you
Destroyed the
the Beetle, yeah.
No, but you did. You destroy a beetle, but that's Herbie. You can't destroy Herbie. Could you imagine the face he'd pull as you do it?
Like a really sad little sink, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Like-
No, okay. So
Okay.
we've got the Italian Job minis.
Yeah.
Am I
Personal-
allowed to choose my colour?
Personal favourite film of ours.
100%. If it isn't, if you're a motoring fan and you don't like the Italian Job,
Not actually a motoring fan.
no, exactly.
Right, what are we
Bullet.
doing? You're going first this week, I think, actually.
Yeah, I will do. I think with the Bullet Mustang, that's just too nice. But imagine Herbie to live with. Living with Herbie would be quite nice.
I know, but if you drove Herbie, you could go onto the side of a racetrack, couldn't you? And drive around the side.
Yeah, I know. That was the horrendous Herbie Fully Loaded with Lindsay Lohan before she went
Crazy.
off the rails and
yeah.
15 trips to rehab later and
haircuts.
5 boob jobs.
Yeah.
Sounds
Sounds like Charles's Friday night.
Best Herbie film. Herbie Goes to
It's
Monte
Carlo.
Carlo was my favourite, but then The Love Bug, which was the first one, was quite good. And
That's what this is from.
in that he falls in love with in Monte Carlo in
Lancia Monte.
The Love Bug. It's a Lancia Monte Carlo.
It is, isn't it?
And the doors open and they hold hands and it's really quite
Oh.
sweet. Sickening, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't a
You are,
Beetle,
to be honest with you.
but it is quite cute.
Yeah. Yeah, Mustang, Mini Cooper, or VW Beetle. And think about the significance as well from the films.
Yeah, that's true. I
Steve
think
McQueen,
I would
buddy.
be driving Herbie
Herbie.
because it'd be quite cute.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't need to drive. Just sit there. Let Herbie do it.
You
You're going to
would,
win
yeah.
every race
You
because
would,
he had
yeah.
an amazing turn of speed for some reason.
He's a Beetle.
You might get Lindsay Lohan, period Lindsay Lohan, like when she was actually quite good looking. in
Before
that film.
rehab.
Before rehab and she went off the rails.
Yeah.
So you might get her in the passenger seat. Or maybe, what was his name? Don Knotts. You could get him in the car
Don
as
Knotts.
well. Or you could have, I think I'd be driving Herbie, buying,
I know what you're going to do.
what?
Buying the Mini Coopers.
No, sorry, I'm buying the Bullet Mustang.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were going to agree on something.
Bullet Mustang Highland Green. Oh, that film with the sorry.
You've actually
Sorry,
just
something's
tuned into
happening.
the drive-by. Oh no.
Crisis.
Crisis, yeah.
Drive-by orgasm. No, it's just. Yeah, I'd have to have the
Yeah.
Bullet Mustang because it's just too good looking. The car chase is probably the best car chase in film. What
about
other ones could
better
you
than the
have done?
Fast and Furious
Would you-
films?
No, I think you'd. What about Knight Rider? Would you include Knight? I wouldn't have.
I haven't done. I was going to include the Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
I was
That's a
going to
good
include
point.
that, but then I thought these ones are a bit
Trans
more
Am from
significant.
Smokey and the Bandit. That doesn't really have a catchphrase to it, does it? It's not really.
I wasn't going to have the DB5 from Goldfinger because that's
No.
too cliche.
Yeah, it is.
Nor
a
the
bit.
Lotus Esprit.
Hmm.
Because
No,
that
that's
featured
not
that
iconic
a
enough.
few weeks ago.
I think you would. The van from the A-Team you could do.
Oh yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard,
Yeah.
68 Charger or 69.
Beautiful looking car that is.
Do you know they ended up buying up any old cars and rebodying them
Did they?
as Chargers and then just smashing them up? Because I think they went through like 500 cars with the stunts and the jumps because as soon as you jump it and it lands,
That's it. The axle's
completely-
gone. Everything's gone.
everything's gone. So they actually bought, but then you could also have the police car from Blues Brothers. That would have been a good one.
Oh, that's a good looking car.
I'd quite
The
like an American
Batmobile
police
from
car.
Dark Knight Rises, or the Dark Knight.
Which one is the one with the big angry tyre one? Was it but
One
used
with
in
the
the same
motorcycle
film?
that comes out the front. Dark Knight, that was.
I've never seen it.
You never seen the Dark Knight?
No, I never have.
Brilliant film.
Okay. But
Heath
I
Ledger
say with
on
the
top
original
himself.
you could have the original Batmobile, which I'm not sure what that was. Was that a
The
full
Cadillac.
Thunderbird or a Cadillac? I'm not sure
Something American.
what it was. Well, obviously. And then other than that, I think that's about it for
Movie
cars.
cars with significance.
with significance.
Yeah. What are you doing anyway?
Unfortunately, I'm destroying the Mini.
Oh, you threw it off the side of a cliff.
Did you know they threw them off the side of the cliff?
How much explosives did they put actually in the car?
Well, no, they only blew
they
up
came
one, which was the red one.
Yeah.
That blew up for some reason. It just went 5 yards down the mountain and then blew up
What?
for all of a sudden.
Happens to a lot of minis these days.
The white one fell all the way down and landed on a road, and they went back for the bits of the car
Yeah.
the next day. All been nicked. All of it was
Trust the
gone.
Italians not
All
to
of
miss a
it gone.
trick there, do they?
All of it gone. So
Good trade for the gold though this time.
but the Miura that's pushed out. Oh, the Miura that could have been put in too. We're talking about the Lamborghini Miura earlier on. They could have put the
The
Miura
Matt
in.
Monroe music at the front.
But
Ooh.
that
Or the
was just a body
bulldozer.
shell.
Or the bulldozer. in the tunnel.
That was just a body shell that they dumped off there. Obviously, that
You could
wasn't-
tell when they dumped off the.
Yeah, it was all sort of a bit wiggly
Yeah.
on the way down.
Actually, and the person, the guy, and it's like it's just a dummy, isn't it? And you just see him just kind of.
Yeah, I don't
right.
do.
Yeah,
I
you
don't,
do.
I've never really paid that much
I think
attention.
I watched it recently.
That's what you're going to have to do when I die.
Chuck you off the side of a cliff.
Shut me off the side
Can I
of
do
a
it whilst
cliff,
he's still living?
and then you're going to have everyone standing there with the black suit, black trilby, and you'll have to take it off.
Is that
go
because I
like that.
resemble someone?
Roll a wreath down the cliff.
Do I resemble someone from the mafia?
And go to the pub. No, you really don't, do you? I do, especially
You do with
I
that haircut. You do.
Yeah, not maybe with the beard. If you got rid of the beard,
Yeah. If you're wearing that shirt I gave you the other week as well, black shirt,
black shirt,
jeans,
yeah,
hair.
you'd look a bit mafia-y. Yeah, so I will be driving Herbie because
Herbie.
sweet.
You actually you don't even have to drive them, do you?
No, exactly. You
I've
just
got
sit
to drive
there,
them.
and then you'd have the Bullet Mustang because why wouldn't you?
So you'd buy that over the Mini Cooper?
Yeah, you can pick up a Mini Cooper anywhere, but to find a proper
Oh.
Highland Green Mustang, like that car disappeared for years, the Bullet Mustang, and they've only just recently found it.
Really?
Yeah, and
Didn't know
it's
that.
going up for sale or went up for sale, I forget. But it was about they did a magazine piece on it a little while ago, and they
Yeah,
discovered
yeah.
it in a barn. So that's what I would be doing.
Imagine
what are you going
waking
to
up
do?
and then knowing that you've got Steve McQueen's Bullet Mustang.
I don't think they did. I don't think they
Didn't
understand
realise
the
the
significance. They
significance of
maybe didn't think it was that car or anything like that. But it remained hidden for many years, and no one knew where it was.
Wow.
So
What a
what would
shame.
you do?
Difficult one.
Mm-hmm.
Really difficult one. I would drive the Bullet Mustang because I'm that car chase. I'm Steve McQueen, so I would suit that car really well. And then I would therefore.
Doing a Ricky Gervais. I'm
Yeah,
doing
you
it.
are.
Look to the side.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Carry on,
on that. Losing
You're going to
my
blow up
flair.
Herbie, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going to just.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know how I'm going to do it
mate.
though? Carry on. So,
Carry on.
Mini Cooper. I'm buying that from the Italian job.
Okay.
One of my favourite cars.
Mm.
Love a classic Mini.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I'm destroying Herbie.
Oh.
Do you know how I'm going to do it though?
Yeah.
You know when Top Gear did the race of the Porsche and the Beetle?
Oh, you're going to drop him on
I'm
his
gonna
nose.
Drop him. 'Cause then I know he's gone.
Oh,
Herbie's
poor-
gone.
You can understand because it's a beetle, and but the fact that it's anthropomorphized like that.
It's a big word for you,
Big
that,
word
wasn't
for
it?
me. The anthropomorphizing beetle. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that's really got going for it, the Herbie reference. And it's amazing how many. I don't know whether they offered it
I
as
just
an
see
option.
so many renditions of it on the road with
Oh yeah,
Beetles.
no, modern
with
beetles. with
eyelashes
the-
on. Oh, I hate
Oh
it.
no! But do you see Herbie ones? I
Yeah,
see
do.
a lot of
I do.
Herbie
I
ones.
see Herbie ones with eyelashes.
Oh
And
no!
I hate it, and it ruins the film. So
I hate
therefore,
eyelashes on
if you
cars.
destroy all the Herbie vehicles, you'll never see that ever again. Sorry, and poor Herbie's going. Herbie.
Herbie.
So yeah, I'm buying the Mini Cooper Italian job car,
Mhm.
and therefore destroying Herbie. From a helicopter. That's what I'm doing.
I
You're a
can't-
disappointment, aren't you?
I really
Disappointed
am.
in me.
Like the minis aren't that special. You could recreate a mini quite easily. Well, I suppose you could recreate the Herbie. quite
And they
easily.
do.
And
on
they,
the-
yeah, they
yeah,
do.
they
You
do.
see them on the bloody road all the time.
Yeah.
I think I can see you. No, I can't. You're completely wrong. How could you kill a talking, a freely moving beetle?
Like a drive of a racetrack on the side.
Oh, please don't refer to that film. It's just such a load of complete cack, that film.
Yeah. That's another rant for you want another week, isn't it?
Terrible. It's awful and I hate it.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're ending then on a disagreement.
Well, it's very rare that we actually do agree on these particular questions that we ask.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Excellent. Right, well, there we go. That's episode 9 done. So
Episode
the
9.
next episode, we will be in double figures.
Wow, we haven't given up on it either.
No, we haven't. We're still here.
We're still here. We're still talking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mostly.
Go back, watch the other episodes. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Drive-By Podcast.
Drive_by
Podcast. And myself at Charlie Drives.
Charlie_drives.
Yes.
You're the one that was so insistent on having.
I had to. There is a bloke called Charlie Drives.
Is there?
Yes, there's a man called Charlie Drives. He doesn't put any posts up, but I wanted that name, so I had to put the underscore in there.
Why didn't you message him?
Once said, "Could I have your name, please?" By deed poll, change my name.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tune in next week.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's it for
Bye-bye.
us. Bye bye.